Welcome everyone to Coco's Bible Study. Today we're beginning our journey through the book of Genesis. The first book of the Bible, Genesis, tells us how everything began. The universe, humanity, sin, God's promises, and the family through whom the Messiah would eventually come. As we go, we'll occasionally pause to reflect on what these events teach us about God and about ourselves. Let's begin. In the beginning, before anything existed, there was God. There were no stars, no oceans, no mountains, no people. Then, by his power alone, God spoke creation into existence. Light broke through the darkness. The sky stretched over the waters. Dry land appeared, covered with plants and trees. The sun ruled the day. The moon ruled the night, and countless stars filled the heavens. The seas swarmed with life. Birds filled the sky. Animals roamed the land. Finally, God created mankind in his own image. He formed Adam and breathed life into him. Later, he created Eve, so that together they would care for creation and live in perfect fellowship with him. God looked at everything he had made and declared it very good. Pause for a moment. Genesis begins by showing us that everything we have comes from God. Nothing exists apart from him. Humanity wasn't created by accident. We were created with purpose, to know our Creator and reflect his goodness. The Garden of Eden. God placed Adam and Eve in a beautiful garden called Eden. Everything they needed was provided. They walked with God. There was no sickness, no pain, no fear, no death. Only one command was given. They could eat from every tree except one, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God warned them that disobedience would bring death. The first temptation. One day the serpent approached Eve. He questioned God's goodness. He suggested that God was holding something back. Eve looked at the fruit. It seemed beautiful. She took it. She ate. Then Adam also chose to eat. Immediately everything changed. Their innocence disappeared. Shame entered their hearts. Instead of running toward God, they hid from him. But God came looking for them. Though they faced the consequences of their sin, God also gave hope. He promised that one day a descendant of the woman would crush the serpent's power. Even in humanity's darkest moment, God revealed his plan to save. Let's stop right here and think, how often are we tempted to believe that God's way isn't enough? The story reminds us that sin always promises freedom but delivers separation. Yet God's first response wasn't to abandon humanity. It was to promise redemption. His mercy appeared before history had barely begun. Cain and Abel, Adam and Eve had children. Their sons, Cain and Abel, each brought offerings to God. Abel offered his best with faith. Cain's heart was not right before God. Jealousy grew. Anger took control. Cain murdered his own brother. It became the first murder in history. God confronted Cain. Instead of confessing, Cain tried to avoid responsibility. Even then, God showed mercy by protecting Cain from being killed. Generations continued to grow across the earth. Some people followed God. Many others chose their own ways. Let's reflect. Sin rarely stays small. One act of disobedience in the garden quickly spread into violence, hatred, and broken families. But throughout Genesis, we'll continue to see another pattern. Human beings fail. God remains faithful. The generations before Noah. As centuries passed, people multiplied across the earth. Some honored God. Many ignored him completely. Violence increased. Corruption spread into every part of society. The world became darker with each passing generation. Yet one family continued walking faithfully with the Lord. From that family would come a man named Noah. His obedience would preserve humanity during one of history's greatest judgments. As we finish this first part, notice the contrast between God's perfect creation and humanity's rebellion. Genesis isn't simply a story about people's failures. It's the beginning of God's rescue plan. Even after sin entered the world, God never stopped pursuing his people. In the next part, we'll witness the story of Noah, the flood, God's covenant, and the beginning of the nations after the Tower of Babel. May these truths encourage you to trust the God who remains faithful even when humanity falls short. This is where we will stop for now. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more videos like this. Coco out.